Hey everyone, this is Jake Smeester, creative content specialist for Amazon Sumerian. And it looks like I have a little bit of green screen popping up down there in the bottom corner. It doesn't look good. Let's get rid of that. Let's fix that. Right. Nope. Left. Boop. Okay. And it's gone. All right. Hello, everyone. This is Jake. I already said that. We are going to be building an interactive city today. If you joined me last week, we started working on kind of redoing this city that I got from TurboSquid. So if I jump over to my screen, let's look at my screen here. Okay, and I will show this. All right. So this is an asset pack that I purchased from TurboSquid. Really, really cool stuff. And if you look at the city that they built, it's a really cool cartoon city. And I thought that this would be a really great opportunity for, one, to just start building a larger scene kind of week by week. And so you can follow along, you can ask questions, you can kind of interact with me any way you want. At the same time, we will be adding to this scene and largely just, at least originally, we're going to just be placing a lot of different assets and adding textures and that sort of stuff. Also, a really great time for asking me anything, Q&A session as well. And ECG Taylor, thanks for joining us. And yeah, we're excited to be here. Tuesdays is like one of our primary days to be doing Twitch streams on the AWS channel. So that's twitch.tv/AWS. And then on Wednesdays here at 1 o'clock, this is going to be just kind of a time to have a running project, a continuous project that I work on. And for now, it's going to be this city. So yeah, thanks for joining us. We're excited to continue work on this. So without anything else, let's jump back to my scene and continue working. So we have this scene. I have a few different streets that we've built in really just a big square. And what we want to do, actually, let me jump over this because I'm using this image here as kind of a map. So what we've done is we've built we've built a highway, and actually just noticed that that's correct. Okay, we have a 4-lane highway going around the outside, and that's what we have over here. They do have this green median in the center. And there are some things that I noticed also that they have in this scene that we didn't quite do. For example, these little crosswalks right here. And I didn't add those in. I don't really want to switch those out, so I'm just going to continue building. So what I like to do is now start building a bunch of roads that go this way. So we've built the outer highway. Now we want to build some crossroads. So I'm going to build this one, and this one, and probably this one as well. So yeah, that's what we have. So let's get, no, actually not that one. This is the outside. This is my square right here. So I want to build this road, and some other ones. All right, so let's get started with that. Let's build this first one on the left. If you notice, there's a few different intersections. Okay, great. And so what we need is a 2-lane highway. Not a highway, really just a 2-lane road. So I'm going to go back into my cartoon city. That's not what I wanted. Where is that? I'm looking for my assets here. It was on my computer. And now I'm not seeing it. Is it in here? Nope. Where did it go? Huh. All right. Well, I don't see everything that I wanted, but we will make do for now. All right. So I'm going to bring in a 2-lane road, and I'm going to bring in the FBX file, drag and drop on my scene. And then once it appears here in the assets panel, I'm going to drag that over onto my scene, and that'll appear probably over here. Yeah, there it is. And we're going to drag it to about here. All right, so remember I have my external highway, and then we're going to build some, let's call these north and south roads. So let me zoom in on that guy. And we want to make sure the transforms line up really well. So that's actually probably closer to -110. That's probably where we want it to go. And then let's try to keep them even numbers. All right. Now let's select the entity, the child entity that has the material component on it. And with that, I will drag the road texture. And there we have the road texture. Well, see, I don't have the crosswalks that they have like right here, but I think I'm okay with that. Let's create a new entity, and we'll make it an empty entity. We'll rename it North-South Road 1. And we're going to nest all of this stuff in here. All right, and we're going to have several groups. Nope, I don't actually want to do that. Let's unnest that for a second. The reason being, I want to move my empty entity, which is over here. I want to move it closer to where it is actually going to be. So somewhere like that. Not an exact science. For this, I just want it to be somewhat close, because the center of that entity was like actually not really in the center of where they actually are positioned in 3D space. It was way over here. So if I moved the handles over here, you know, you would see this road sliding back and forth over here, but I'd be dragging over here. It just was like all offset. So I moved the empty entity position to be roughly where I'm going to be putting the road, just so it makes a little bit more sense. All right, so let's now start. Now I'm going to nest it so that when I click on this north-south road, then it moves exactly the way it's supposed to. Wait, nope, I just actually undid. North-south road. Okay, yeah, I really just screwed that up. Okay, let's get it back to where it was. All right, and now we will nest. And now we will go back to the 2-lane road, and we will start duplicating this guy and moving it out. And remember, it's good to keep these whole numbers, so we're not doing fractions and things are starting to look real goofy. Even though apparently I did not do that here. We probably want to that one is, we'll do 150. Z is 0. Wait a second. No. I'm really goofing up here. Let me back up here. All right. We have one road. Let's get it lined up. We'll do 150. Check that. That doesn't even really look right itself either. Okay. What I think happened is it's totally screwed up. All right, I'm going to drag this back on from the entities panel. And I'm going to build this out first, not nested. Where is my road? There it is. Okay. So here it is, my road. Let's get this to probably, all right, -110. That's what we had before. That's fine the way it is. No, I keep doing this. Yeah, see, it's not the same. All right. 2-lane road. What is this guy over here? I'm having to delete and start over here many times. Whoops. All right. Where's my 2-lane road? Here it is. We're going to start again. Start fresh. Let's put this where we want to put it. Right over here. I'm wasting too much time. We want this to be -110. And let's zoom in on it. And what do we want this number to be? That's -110. Doesn't quite matter yet where the... Well, I guess it does. Let's see how far we went. All right, so we want it to be... Yeah, that looks about right. But again, let's make it a whole number. So we'll make it 360. All right, now we're going to duplicate it. And we're going to move this guy up to -120. Then we're going to duplicate it again and make that one 130. Duplicate it again, make it 140. It looks like these roads are... Oh, hello. I have not looked at my chat room. Cloud Reach Stewart. Hello. Welcome back. And we'll duplicate this guy. And we'll make it 150. Well, I'm going to make about 10 of these. So then 160. Duplicate. 170. Duplicate. 180. Duplicate. 190. Duplicate. 200. Not 2,000. 200. Very nice. I created this north-south road, which is... I jumped ahead a little bit. I'm going to name this one just... What did I call it for the external highway? Just road, okay. Nothing really too fancy. So these guys, yeah, I'll just call it road. I'm going to start nesting all of these guys in my empty entity. Oops, nope, I didn't want to do that. I think I just nested it not in the correct entity. It's making me scroll up here more than I want. Something just got moved way out of whack. Boy, I don't know what happened there. So we're just going to go ahead and delete 8. We're going to come back to 7 and make it, I think, so trying to be 116? No, that can't be it. Where are you? Trying to get this real precise. That'll work. Okay. Try to delete that 8. Okay, that's what happened. How did how did that happen? That is very strange. All right, so now I have my road. Now let's duplicate road and move it up to roughly right there. Let's do 164. Does that look right? Okay. Nice. And then let's take road 2 and duplicate that and move it up there. And then we'll take road. Please put grid snap tools to the top of the roadmap to your sanity and ours. Yes. That is a common request, and I would not disagree with you, Cloudreach Stewart. Okay, now let's put all of these guys into a new entity that we're going to call North-South. North-South Road. And we'll place this empty entity right about there. And then we're just going to place all these guys in there. And then let's build onto road 3 because that's where they are. Let's delete these guys because I don't want them, these little road sections that somehow got way out here. There it is. Not sure how we got that one out there, but we got it fixed. All right, and then let's add on to road 3 a couple more times. Let's duplicate this and slide it out there. And this is exactly where it would come in handy. Having some snap tools in place. And let's duplicate that again, and that should probably complete us. Oh no, I'm just short of it. I have an idea of what I can do for this one. If I can just stretch this along the x-axis, it's a little bit goofy because those lines are a little bit too long, but that's okay. So we have a north-south road. Now let's take that north-south road, and what do we want to do? We want to make another one. We want to make about two more. I'm not gonna do that. So I'll make 2 more. But that's because the way we nested it, it should be very easy to do that. But again, we're getting a goofy guy up here. Where did this guy come from? Okay, it's in road. Somehow that 8th road got all goofed. But I think I got rid of all of the outlying road pieces. All right, so we'll take road 2, we'll duplicate this guy, and we already have road 2 and 3. I'm not messing with anything but the Z value because otherwise it'll kind of mess it up. So I want to put one here and one here. So the roughly, oh, I just did exactly what I didn't mean to do. Undo that. Does that look about right? These each look like they are kind of even. So if this one on the Z value, we'll make this one what? 360. 360. We'll make this one 3 or 260, not 260. Okay. So we're all about 100 units apart. And then 160. So we got a lot of evenness. They're evenly spaced. We want this one to be a little bit closer though. Okay. That'll do for now. And let's see, what else do we want to do? I want to take two that go this way. I wonder if I can just select this one, duplicate it, and then rotate it 90 degrees, or negative 90 degrees, I guess, technically, and stretch it this way. Now we're a little bit longer in that direction. So that's not quite going to work. Wonder if I could let's take another one and let's just add on to it and see if we get anywhere close. There's a little bit of overlap. We'll do negative 220. Z value will just make that. Nope. We want the same Z value, so I'll go back to this one. Okay, but road 4, it goes a little bit beyond it, so I'm going to delete a few. So we'll delete that roadway. Really small road section is what it is. Let's delete it and see what happens. No, that lines up pretty well. Perfect. But this isn't a north-south road. This is an east-west road. We still get these guys up here. Why does this keep happening? Where do these random 8s come from? I keep deleting them, and I feel like maybe I'm just undoing my. Must be undoing my actions. All right, so this is not north-south road 4. This is east-west. So we'll call it east and west. And let's duplicate that guy and move one down here, wherever we want to place it. So one towards the top, up there, and one more towards the bottom. All right, once we get our roadways filled out, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. So we're going to add a few smaller ones, though. Yeah. Okay, so we want to do Let's just add a few small road sections to a few different places. Like right here, maybe. One right here. Doesn't need to be exact. And then, okay, good. We're making sense. Okay, cloud reach. I had to lay out a lot of desks for bosses to visualize an open plan. Got so frustrated with no snap that I underlaid an FBX of an AutoCAD drawing with its dimensions showing. Would recommend planning the coordinates in this way until snap is available. Let's see. Would recommend. I had to lay out a lot of desks for bosses to visualize that I had to underlay. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Most of this, once I get the roads down, the thing is, once I get the roads down, then I'll kind of have like a skeleton structure to put everything in. Again, I've never actually built anything quite like this before. And so this is an experiment also of what is best practice to get stuff to line up right. And it's certainly not, when you're dealing in 3D space, it certainly is not, doesn't always come, there's just a lot to pay attention to. So let's take another, let's go to East-West Road 4, and let's duplicate that guy. But I don't want it nested in that. So I'm just going to move him over this way. And where did I move this? Road 5. We'll just call it road, small road. Okay, and then let's dive into him and add on a few. Really, we want to go this direction, so did I just duplicate it again? I don't think so. All right, let's move it. Let's slide it out over this way. Duplicate it again. This one's not quite going to reach, so I'm going to increase it on the, nope, not the Z, on the X. Perfect. And small road. Let's take that small road. Let's duplicate that one and put one over here. Zoom in on it. Actually, we probably want to go. We want to go this way. We're pretty close. Gonna have to delete a few of these ones. Actually, didn't want to do that one. It's probably these ones on the other end. Okay, yep. And then 13, let's delete it. Do you want to delete number 1 and then number 2? We'll stretch this one out just a bit. Not quite that much. Let's try to get it. Is place it in the center. Cool. Now we got a road. It's fairly similar. Let's make another one. Up this way, and then which road sections do we need to delete? Yep, the other end. So number 1. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. And then number 6 is probably a little bit too big. So let's go on the X value and just reduce it by a bit and then slide it over. Then we gotta increase it a little bit more. Okay. Again, there's a little bit of overlap, but I am okay with that. All right, so we're getting a lot of road laid out here. Let's think. First of all, I don't know where my asset pack was for this. Let me see if I can get that downloaded again. Oh, I'm going. Where was that? I think up here, up here, up here. Okay. Getting my downloads. Cartoon City. Where was that one? I just didn't have all of my assets I needed. Let's go down. Let's find it again. I'm looking in my downloads folder and it is just not showing up. And I don't know where it is. I'm gonna have to move on. Okay. So what I'm looking for is I want to be able to put in kind of this little road here. And I don't have an elbow turn, so I'm just not gonna be able to do that right now. That's all right. Let's start building out a few other things. If we wanted to make let's start building out some of these blocks to mix it up. So let's place some of these buildings. I want to start putting buildings kind of on the edge here and work my way down. So let's start there. Let's get some buildings. I actually already have some buildings here, and I'm just going to start adding them to the edge of my scene, or to the edge of my building, or to the outside perimeter of what already exists as my external highway. So I'm just going to start sliding these ones over here. I added these already, and I just kind of went a different direction in the way I wanted to build it. So here we are. I'm not really worried about being too precise with these ones because, you know, buildings, you don't have to be real precise with buildings, am I right? Just kidding. Okay, now let's add some textures to these guys because we don't have any textures, which I imagine we want to see what these actually look like. I'm very annoyed that I can't find my folder with all of these files on it. It was here and I can't find it now. Oh well. All right, so we have, what building do we have selected? Building 6, excuse me. So I'm looking now for building 6 texture. And I found it over here, and it's just a JPEG, I believe, a PNG file. Great. Building 5. Building 5 texture. Building 4, I got to find the component with the material component. And that's where I actually drag the texture. Building 3, and so again, I just drag and drop. Pretty simple. Building 2. And building 1. All right, and drag that texture on there. All right, so we got a lot of different buildings. There's a lot to fill in here, and we're going to continue doing that. But what do we want to add already? So maybe we want to add on a train station down here. I really need those elbow curves, or those elbow roads. That is something I'm really going to need. But I just don't have them available on me right now. It's my other computer. All right, so we have that. Let's see what else we have available. And let's look at a little bit more of the layout. So they just have some random buildings over here. They have a church and hospital. Maybe let's put a hospital and something else there. I don't think I have the church in this folder. So let's actually put the gas station. That'll be cool. Put the gas station. It'll populate over here in the corner. Actually, well, it hasn't done that. I got to drag it from the assets panel. Oops. And we'll drag the hospital also into our scene. And then when we get the hospital, we'll drag that from the assets panel onto our canvas. Probably going to want to rotate this by 90 degrees this way, positive 90 degrees. Not 83, 90. Perfect. All right. And we'll put it right next to the gas station. I think that we have some. I think there's an actual like gas station. This is, if you notice, this is just like the pumps, you know. And there's slack going off here. All right. What else? What else do we want to do? They have the gas station over here. Let's just bring in as many buildings as we can. Let's bring in the school. Oh. So I want to put this school next to. Where do they have the school? I don't know. I can't really see where they have the school. I think that'll work. All right, let's place it right about here. And we will add the texture to it. Very nice. And let's see. Have we added in the shop? I don't think we have. Okay, we don't have any shops, so I'm going to add in the shop texture. Forgot to add in the textures for the hospital and the gas station. All right, and then we need to add a texture to it. Whoops. And then the gas station too. Let's add the texture to the gas station. And the hospital, let's add a texture to that. Remember, you have to do it to the entity that has the material component on it, and it might not be the parent level entity for that entity. It might be something different. Just like this, just in this case. All right, we're adding the courthouse now. Where did it go? It's probably over here. Yep. Courthouse. Let's rotate it by 90 degrees along the y-axis. Put it right there. And texture for the courthouse. So let's expand that guy and add the courthouse texture down here. Cool. All right, so now we're starting to get a lot more buildings, a little bit more complex of a road, more detailed road. So these are all the textures we have for like roadways and waterways, and so we will start adding some of that in probably next week. Man, that's cool. So what we want to do? We want to do the, I think we also want to do the fire station. There's the fire station. Let's go back to our Sumerian editor. Okay, I'm dragging on the fire station. It'll appear down here in the bottom of our screen. Oh, that was a fire truck. I don't want the fire truck. I wanted the fire, that's why it looked so small, fire station. And rotate it around this way, so to 90 degrees. And then let's add the material. Right there, boom. Okay. What do they have that looking like? So you notice they also have a lot of concrete and some grass around. So we want to add in some of these other entities to make it look a little. Oh, see, they actually have this. They have the gas station over here. That's actually kind of cool. I'm going to do that. I do want to do that. Let's move that guy over here. So we need some apartments. Let's do some apartments just all around the corner here. we have apartment 1 and apartment 2, two different, two similar but different entities or models. So we'll add apartment 1. I don't know where they put the school. They put the school somewhere totally else. I'm going to move the school right there. All right, let's add apartment 1. I already did that, actually, so we'll delete the second one. There it is. Put him right there. And then we'll take apartment 2 and do the same thing. All right, zoom out and slide it up over here. So yeah, imagine we're going to try to fit probably 3 different apartments in here. Let's rotate this one around the y-axis so we can kind of fit it a little bit better in here. It's tight, but it works. And then let's add the textures onto apartment 1, apartment 2. And if you apply textures to one, the duplicate also gets it. That's something important to remember. So I'm going to copy the and let's get one more apartment 1. Rotate it 90 degrees, doesn't really matter in positive or negative. But we might need to scoot him towards. All right, anything I'm missing? I mean, how many buildings do we have? 6? 7? Let's just finish adding the buildings. We got a few more buildings here. And I think we'll call it a day for this project. All right, let's add in building 7. This is what's going to be the This is the Empire State Building. Where do they put it in this scene? They put it over here, kind of packed behind this one. I don't know if I want to do that. I want to put him in a different spot. I mean, this is a huge building. It's a cool building. It's probably too small also for, I think we need to increase the size. Nope, not that. And all the uniformly increase. Should we just do 2? That's probably good. All right, so we'll add the texture to building 7. All right, just requested snap and grid on Slack feature request. The Play platform, good work, thank you. I do think that has already been requested. I know I've talked about it. But yes, especially for stuff like this when you're trying to build so many small things and line them up, and it definitely can get tedious if it doesn't. I mean, I'm a big user of Adobe Premiere, and just the snap functions in that is which is really any Adobe products. It's just really, really important, you know. I don't know where 8 went. Oh, okay. Here's 8. Let's put him over here. I'm quasi following that as a design, more for the layout than anything else, because I don't know, I just get bored being like, oh, this has to be exactly there, and has exactly this. I guess I'm just not patient enough. Maybe a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes both. All right, let's add building 9. We got 9, 10, and 11, so we got 3 more buildings. I like the image plane feature of Maya. I haven't used Maya, actually. Heard a lot about it. Z-Tim, sir, can you describe that a little bit more? What did I just add? Oh, I know what I just said. Hold on. I did this again, where I moved a child entities. A child entities transform and not the parent entity, and that just really goofs it up. It places an image in a plane to use as a reference. Oh, that would be nice. Ooh, I'm looking at the question, Rizababi. Would it be possible to display or remove a building based on an API call to an AWS service like EC2? Let's see. An API call. I don't know about an API call. Using AWS IoT, you could publish a message and Sumerian would hear that, and then you could actually use the state machine in which to hide or display or move a building or an entity of some kind. The question are top 3 requests on the list, and is Snap Object one of them? I don't know where that falls. I mean, there's obviously lots of requests and lots of features. Just so yeah, there's several things, and that's I can't say, I just don't know if that's a top 3 requests, but I would say it's up there. So I would say it's high, yes. But I can't say for certain, like exact placement. Nope, I didn't mean to do that. We need to rotate. Okay, I'm just gonna wrap this up here. Placing this guy. Did I do it again? No, I didn't. All right. Building 8, building 9. I think I already have building 9. Let's add him. And then let's find his material. Yep, I did it again. Keep moving the child entities transform, and then that really just messes up your transforms. All right, I'm just gonna so I just did 9. Let's do 10 and 11. We had 10. I'm going to do some tweaking on this offline to get things just a little bit more the way I want it. I'm just trying to get as many things in here as I can at the moment. So we add 11. Let's add 11 to our scene. Let's expand its child entities. And these ones, 19 and 11, all look very similar. Look at 11. That's actually look like corporate buildings of some kind. Okay. This actually probably makes sense to have all these buildings that look real similar. Kind of like they belong together, you know? Yep, I moved that one wrong again also. Bad habit. Bad habit indeed. What kind of use cases are there for the city we're building? It's a good question. So number one, it's going to be to, and if you watched our, well, there's a few things, right? So number one, this provides a time for just us to build and experiment. And once we really get a lot of stuff placed, we'll be able to start adding different things, variable things to the city. So we'll be able to make things move. We'll be able to make things animate. We'll be able to add streaming TV. We'll be able to add, there's a lot of things we can add, and so that we can start making it a navigatable VR place, so where you can find all sorts of different stuff. So this is just going to be a large model in which we can just add tons of different functionality to it, and you can actually wander about it in VR and experiment with different things. So the point of this being just this running ongoing project is that it's a large VR scene that allows us to experiment with lots of different functionality. That's a good question, and if I haven't explained that, that would be the main reason behind that. Yeah, so just placing objects, and it's also just a good experiment of like what are best use cases for when you're actually building a large city, not just in a half an hour time period, you know. So with that in mind, trying to figure out how we can best utilize the different components and different functionality. That's what we're going for. I did this one again too. Oh, this is so annoying. I'm really annoying myself with this by moving child entities instead of the parent entities. Yes, that's actually really cool. ECG Taylor. Yeah, I agree. That's actually that's another thing I would like to do. I want to actually make it so you either a timeline or something to where you actually you transition the evening from day to night. This will also allow us. That's another good thing that once it's night, we can add in lights and add different features using lights. And so really it'll just allow us to experiment with anything and everything within Sumerian. I hope that answers your question, because that is that's a good question. All right, so now we have basically this corporate block. Yeah, you're welcome, Rizabobby. I'm going to put a street here and then add a few other things, start completing some of these blocks. And then as we see, we'll add some waterways and some bridges and stuff. And I might get a little impatient and not want to do things quite exactly the same, but just the way I am, sometimes I'm like, it's good enough. Let's move on. But anyway, we're going to experiment. This is good practice for me. It's good practice for lots of different things. But again, when you want to build something, you want to make it believable. You want to make it a useful scene, and that which you can actually do other things. And that is definitely something that takes a little bit of time and effort. And so that's why we want to do that. So we've reached an hour of placing cities, building this scene. And we will be back. I won't be here next week, actually. I'm going to be at the beach, which I'm super excited for. So I will be gone next week, but we will resume in 2 weeks and pick up where we left off. Again, if there's no other questions, you can continue to ask questions here in the chat room. You can also hit us up on Slack. Remember, this is, where is Slack? Most of you guys, I think, are probably already on Slack. Nope. Hold on a second. Let's get rid of this. Doop. There it is. I think you guys most of you all that I see are on Slack. But for those that are not, that's where you can find us. The Play Platform. Thank you so much. I look forward to being on the beach. I also look forward to getting back here and continuing the work and building stuff. So thanks for joining. Let me know if I can answer any other questions or point you to the right people that can, and all that sort of stuff. I'm going to throw up some resource slides also, so if you want to reach anywhere else, that's where you can find it. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later.